This big giant tree, this is an oak tree. An oak tree. What do you think that is?
Acorn.
It's an acorn. That's the fruit of the oak tree. It's a nut fruit type. And some other fruits that are related to this are chestnuts. We've had chestnuts. They're actually related to oaks. They're in the same family as oaks. And it's also a nut fruit type. You can think of an acorn and a chestnut as being very similar.
Are hazelnuts like that too? Or
Hazelnuts are also a nut fruit type, but they're unrelated. They're related to things like birch trees. It's a different family. Oaks are all in the genus Quercus. 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 Quercus is the genus. All oaks. There are hundreds of oak species in the world, and they're all over the northern hemisphere. They're in Europe, they're in Asia, they're in North America. They're all over the northern hemisphere. In California, we have a lot of oak species. The most common one is the coast live oak. It grows everywhere, all up and down the state, from border to border, every which way. There are a bunch of cities named after it. I don't have time to get into all that. But this one is native to the valley here. This is called the valley oak. It's a common name. The scientific name is Quercus lobata, for the lobe leaves. Lobata is L-O-B-A-T-A. Quercus lobata is the scientific name. It's the valley oak. The Central Valley of California runs from Bakersfield in the south to Redding in the north. It's about 400 miles. And before Europeans got here and started doing agriculture in the valley, this tree covered the whole valley. It was like a savanna. Big valley oaks with grass and wildflowers in between. That's what the whole valley was like. Then, when people moved in, they dug it all up and grew crops. Okay, so the valley oak today is not very common anymore. If you want to see a good stand of them here in Stockton, Oak Grove Regional Park up on 8 Mile Road, which is on the corner of 8 Mile Road and the I-5, right? It's very easy to get to. They have a big population of these. And if you want to go a little further up the 5, get off on Twin Cities Road and go to the Cosumnes River Preserve, and they have a lot of them there too. They're just not that common anymore because the habitat's been mostly destroyed. This is a native California oak. The Native Americans, the California Indians, they use these as a food product. There's a lot of food value in an acorn. They would grind it up, but it contains a chemical called tannin. Tannin makes you sick. So they would pour water over the mush to rinse all the tannins out. That's called leaching. And then they could use that to make bread and soup and all kinds of things. And that was their staple food for thousands and thousands of years. Think how many acorns one big oak tree makes. Mountains of them. And in a good year, they had more food than they knew what to do with. Sometimes you get a year where the acorns do not fall well. And in those years, they had to switch to another food crop of some type. That is a problem with these, but that's what they ate here. Now, you see those two big trees there? Those are also oak trees. Those are called the northern red oak, and that is native to the East Coast, and that's the state tree of New Jersey, actually. So here you go. You've got oaks from the East Coast and oaks from the West Coast growing side by side. And if you look at their acorns, they're a different shape. Their leaves are a different shape. If I had time, we could get into the difference between white and black oaks. This is a white oak, that's a black oak, and all the differences between them. But suffice it to say, these are from different parts of the country, but they're all the genus Quercus. All right? It's a eudicot, flowering plant. Anthophila. Plant walk is over.